probably by like around Tuesday. And Linda Pittman has raised her hand. Yes, Linda. It might be a test. You can raise your hand too. Yeah. Uh, did you want to say anything, Linda, or you're just testing raising your hand button?
I'm just having a little issue here with the weather, so I'm in and out.
Okay. Okay. And to raise your hand, there's I think let's see.
Want me to lower it?
Yeah, you can lower it, but I was just like, because I can't manage all of that while, yeah, but I was telling them where they could raise, I was going to tell them where they could raise their hand, but um, raise hand is under the more button. If you want to do that. Okay, so what I've learned usually 99% of the time, what I get is right. It's either my interpretation, it's going on in the moment and you don't know it, or it's your memory. This is why we record it. And everybody's not going to get something, so just be open to that and understand that. But this gives you a good way of understanding how I work if you haven't been to a group or had a session with me before. And so the one thing is, I'm just going to ask if you're going to get up and walk around, make sure you're muted, or if you're going to have a conversation with somebody, make sure that you're muted, or stop the video and mute. Sorry. But turn things off, but don't leave. The difference in doing it long distance is that, you don't have to worry about leaving the room. Uh, and before you can always I've always said you can go to the bathroom if you need to go and do what you need to do. But be here and hold the space here as long as you can, meaning, I would suggest that nobody go ahead, disconnect early in case you might get something. But you could go back to the recording and listen to see if you did. But sometimes, um, and if anybody was planning on being here that's not, stuff for them still might show up. People from the other side might show up. Uh, let's see, what else do I want to say? I am teaching a Zoom class on Saturday, March. We're in March, right? Yeah, Saturday, March 30th, from 2 to 5 Eastern time, which is 1 to 4 Central time, and then I don't know what other time zones. And it's $30, and it is healing through the power of intuition. And this is what is always guiding us. This is our internal compass, and we always have a hard time following that because we let the mind take over, and our fears and our what ifs and our list and the ego and all of those things. So this is a really good introduction to learning how to tap into the intuition, which is what I call the God voice or the divine voice within. So I just will plug that. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. And when people have passed, what they give me is right. And it's, again, my interpretation, your memory, other things are going on with other family members that you're not aware of. But I'm going to share a story because I think it's important if you're new. So this was like, I don't know, 20 years ago, or it could have been longer than that. I was in North Carolina doing a large group of people. There were like 100 people or something. And I kept arguing with a lady about a three-legged horse. And I had this argument for about 20 minutes. And because the person on the other side's jumping up and down on my head. So I didn't know if there was a ceramic horse and somebody broke the leg off of it, glued it on, and thought grandma never knew. I didn't know if somebody had a horse that day that threw a shoe. I didn't know if somebody had a horse with a limp. I didn't know if there was a horse with three, white hooves and one black. I didn't know. I'm going through everything that I can go through in that process. And she's going, nope, nope, nope. The guy on the other side's jumping up and down on my head. He's getting really annoyed. And I says, look, we can't go anywhere until this is resolved. And she went, it was a mule. I'm not that good to know the difference between the horse and the mule if you were in my head. I'm like underwater in the mud. So it's, again, if I hear bah, To me, it could be a sheep, it could be a goat. So be open to that. Or if I say you got a new car, your neighbor might have given you one with no engine. Okay, so just kind of be open to how this process might work. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to say a prayer, and then we are going to get started. Before that, any questions? If you have a question, speak out, raise your hand. We're good. Okay. All right. Divine Beloved, we are grateful for this sacred appointment. We open our hearts and minds to receive the information given. We call upon Archangel Michael for truth and protection. We call upon Archangel Gabriel so that the messages can be clear and make really great sense. We call upon Archangel Raphael for the healing that may need to be done on either side. And we call upon Archangel Azrael, who is the escort for souls from heaven to earth and earth to heaven, to serve as escort for the loved ones of the people coming through. And we affirm that you have cleared the path and paved the way for as much information to be shared, and that I am a clear conduit for this session. And we are grateful, and so it is. Amen and amen. Okay. All right. So the first thing that they are giving me is Fred. Who's got the Fred? Living past, next door neighbor. Who's got the Fred? Is that Kim? Okay, go ahead and take off. Speak. Yeah.
My
Okay.
father-in-law. My father-in-law.
Okay. Now he also takes. Okay, so he's kind of funny.
Yes.
Uh, so I don't know. It's like I don't. He takes credit for, like, I don't know, inventions or something, or bringing new
Yes.
things
He
in.
brought he brought the 96 Olympics to Atlanta.
Okay. All right. Because he's like, and he's really proud of that.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm supposed to tell Richard that he loves him and that he's proud of him. So I know Kim, so I know her husband's name's Richard. I'm not guessing at this point, so I want to be clear with that. So anybody that may go, oh, because all right. He's very excited to be here. And he's talking about somebody on the other side, and it's a female, but I'm supposed to say she's in her right mind now. So who is the female that passed that maybe had dementia?
Uh,
Or
it could be my niece who was had drug problems. She's a younger.
maybe, but I'm going to ask, is his wife still alive?
Yes.
Is she not in her right mind?
Is she starting to slowly? Yes.
Okay. Okay, because he's talking about that being okay. Now he's doing this, not that she ever was.
Yes. True.
So that might just be a family joke. I don't know, but he's making the acknowledgement of that. Okay, so subject change. He's putting me in a park. Like a park, like if I were like a forest, like if I were like a ranger in a park, or a park
Yes.
ranger.
Yes. We moved to the mountains. So we are
Okay.
literally living in a parkland in the
Okay.
mountains
All right. Okay. Thank you.
next to my
So
mother-in-law.
okay. Oh, what? And you can, and the way he's saying it is, you can only do what you do, but you're not going to make her happy. You just got to go with it.
Yes.
Okay. And it's kind of like, mm, yes. So now you think of him as a saint now, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's what he's saying. So now you think of him as a saint.
Yes, he was.
because of how he handled things. But a lot of it is just letting it go. It's just letting it go and kind of saying, yes, dear, it is in the way that he's giving it to me. I've got, they're telling me I've got your mom as
Yes.
well. I got your dad. Okay. Now your mom is singing and she's all excited about it. So did your mom love to sing?
Yes. She used to sing professionally on the radio.
Okay. All right. Well, she's still singing in heaven and entertaining everybody. Now your niece is with her,
Yes.
and she's saying that she predicted your niece's passing.
Yes, she did. And you told me that.
Okay. But that but your niece is there. She is okay. Um and she also wants to tell her mother, which I'm thinking is like your sister or something,
My niece.
your
This is my
okay,
grandniece, so it's
great
my
name.
niece.
Okay. That she's a good mom. Okay. Um and who is the C? Or it could be a K. Um like a hard C or a K, like, well, you're Kim, like Christy or
Chrissy,
Corey or
Kristen,
Chrissy. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Thank you. So your mom, I just wish I could put you in my head.
Me
If I
too.
knew how to do that, things would be so much easier. I just would Zoom, give you a video. So your mother is in a belly dance costume and she's singing as she goes across the stage.
That would
What?
be Katie, who used to
Okay.
belly dance.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Um, and so it's like she's trying to acknowledge everybody. Um, she's giving me ashes. So I have my father's ashes. I'm supposed to take them to Arizona. My mother passed last year, but I need to get the ashes because they both want to go to Arizona. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that.
Paige, they cremated her, and my sister and my niece both have some of her ashes.
Okay. 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 So somebody's wearing her. Somebody's
Yes,
wearing your niece. Okay.
my sister. You could put it in a little locket. Some of her ashes in
Okay.
a locket, and my sister
Okay.
wears that.
Okay. And did somebody get a tattoo?
Yes, Paige did. Nina did.
Okay. Thank you. All right. I so your father-in-law's funny. I mean, he
Yes,
really is
yes,
is funny, but it's almost like with a dry sense of humor. Like he could say,
perfect.
okay,
Yes,
but it's kind of like when you need to deal with
with
your
Carol.
mother, yeah,
Yes.
when you need to deal with her, just channel him. He's saying just call on him. He'll
Okay.
and it's like just channel him. You'll find the right thing to say, but
Okay.
without coming back getting all upset. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Dad.
Okay. So, and was she talking to somebody about, was she calling somebody recently fat or that they needed to lose weight?
Chrissy.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I know he said you just wanted to stick a sock in her mouth. Okay. Okay. She has no filters.
No.
And that's what he's making acknowledgement. But he's saying just channel him, it's instead of like, what would Jesus do? What would
Yes.
Fred do?
Boyfriend.
What would Fred do? Um, and he's talking about he just wants Richard to know he's really, really proud of him and he's moved through a lot.
Yes.
And he's talking about, like, especially from a health perspective,
Hmm.
um, and is happier than he's been in a long time. Is that
Yes.
right? Yeah, and that
Yes.
he's just, yeah. So he just wants him to know that he loves and supports him and that he's happy about that. And your mother's with you all the time, and she's talking about somebody recently. I don't know, she's giving me keys. Did somebody recently lose their keys, misplace their keys, make duplicate keys? Does somebody leave a key in the door all the time?
No,
The
but
keys in the car?
it could be Chrissy brings her keys in every day and hangs them up. I don't know if that has Chrissy comes over all the time because she lives next door. So
Okay.
I'll keep an eye on that one.
Okay. Why did I raise my hand? That's really weird. I lower
Oh,
my hand. Okay. Maybe she did it. I don't know. All right. Okay, so I think I'm done with you, but a lot of times the
yes.
person I start with, I will go back to. Okay. So thank you.
Sorry,
All
everybody.
right. So there goes my nose again. So I've got, did somebody's mother, I've got them. Did somebody, Rick's coming to give me Kleenexes, so that's good. Did somebody's mother pass? I'm trying to find the right way to say it. Did somebody's mother pass on like a birthday or holiday or, okay, go ahead. All right. So, but all of you, there's a couple of hands. So just go ahead and like unmute yourself.
My
Um,
son, my husband's mother just passed. And I think it was either yesterday or the day before, and Friday was my son's birthday.
okay. And then I had somebody else.
Uh,
So would you speak up
Um,
too?
and this is Cindy. I can't see you while I'm speaking, but my mom died on my sister's birthday.
Okay. All right. Well, both of you just okay. So both of
And
you
me as
just,
well, Sharon.
okay.
Me as well, Sharon.
What do you have, Penny?
Well, it's my aunt that passed away on her birthday. So she came
Okay.
in this world one day and left on the same day.
Okay. All right. So and I'm just going to go with all three of you, just listen and then just validate as it shows up. All right. So, but Penny, they are driving me to you right at this moment. Okay. And who, like, is there a Zach?
Yeah, that's my son.
Okay. All right. And they're talking about like somebody getting awards. Did somebody recently win awards for something or get recognized for something?
He just got his CFP license, which he was working towards. So that was a
Okay.
huge
All right.
accomplishment.
Okay. All right. And who's the male above you past? Is that your father?
It's probably my dad. Yes.
Okay. All right. And like he's talking about the family is close. So you have a close-knit family?
Yes, very much so.
Okay. And it's like, I don't know, he gives me lots of girls going to the beach together or something. Does that make
Yeah, my sister and I both are beach lovers. Of course, growing up
okay.
on the beach, so we love the beach. And we
Okay.
spent much of
All
our
right.
family time on the beach together.
Okay. All right. Now he's talking currently somebody has like a broken leg. No, that's not the right way to say it. Currently somebody has an issue with their leg or their hip.
It could be my mom or my sister. So my mom recently fell and broke 7 bones and it
That
set
would
4
be
more in
that
her
would
ankle. Yeah.
okay, that would be what I've got. Okay. That would be what I've got, but I didn't want to make it sound like, oh, they just broke it today or yesterday.
Well, but then
Okay.
my sister fell like 3 months after she did and broke her hip. So it could be either or.
Okay. And which one has like issues with like their blood sugar? And I don't know if this is like from diabetes or low blood sugar.
Neither one of them have been diagnosed, but it could be my sister recently because she's been feeling things. So I think it could be
Okay.
her.
And uh Sherilyn, and what was the other your name because it's not showing up on your phone.
Cindy?
Uh,
Oh,
Cindy? Mindy? Okay. Does any of this make sense to you as well?
it does to me. Some of it makes sense to me.
Okay, and it makes sense to Cindy. Is that right? Correct? Cindy is your okay. So because sometimes they'll share this information. So take ownership. Take ownership of it because they will share. It's a tag team thing, so more people get stuff. And so this is kind of interesting, and I'm just going to keep talking to Penny, but it could flip to one of you. So I'm being given a cake. Okay, I'm being given a cake, but there's no frosting on it. And I don't know what to do with this. I don't know if somebody loves frosting, if somebody hates it, if somebody licks all the frosting off, but they don't eat the cake. Where does that go?
We're having a birthday celebration at my house tonight, and I just baked a chocolate bundt cake for my neighbor, and all I do is put powdered sugar on the top, so no frosting, and that's his
No
favorite.
frosting.
And
I love that. I love that because that shows that they're right there in your life.
yeah, I
Okay,
just did it. Sherilyn's
so
waving her hand though too.
okay, go ahead.
My husband's mother, who just died like last night or the night before, they weren't talking. He sent her a letter. She did years ago, told her how much he loved her. She didn't open it, but so we don't know. We just heard from his sister that she died yesterday or the day before, which was my son's birthday. And so, but she made cakes for him. She was a baker, really phenomenal baker. She baked, but he didn't like icing on it. And so she would not put any icing.
Okay. See, I think that this is really important in that. Okay, so I'm going to go to you for just a moment, okay, or for however long. I think it's interesting that you're here at a time where she's just passed, right? And that there's things that are being validated with that. And so the first thing is that I'm supposed to tell you, I'm supposed to tell your husband that she's sorry. And she's saying, but she believed the lies. Do you understand that? Because there were
Yeah.
lies involved.
Yes.
Okay. And that's what she's saying is that she believed them. So it's kind of like if somebody else were kind of in control of situations. Um, and so she's sorry and she knows that she can't, I'm trying to get her words. She can't take it back. And she's sorry that she was such a scorekeeper. Do you understand when I say that? Because it's like there are the times if people make you mad, they just keep a list of all the things that they got
I
mad
wasn't,
about.
I wasn't mad at her at all. I wasn't.
Right. No, not you, about her. She's saying she kept a list.
Okay. Oh, thank
Does
you.
that
Yeah.
does that make
Yeah.
sense? Okay. But
Yeah.
she wants you to know, she wants your children to know, she wants your husband to know that you are loved and that she's really, really sorry and that he did the right thing. And she did read the letter.
She did. Oh, her children, his other brothers and sisters said that she didn't read it, and one of the sisters said they tore it up and didn't let her read it. And he told
Okay,
them that, you know,
she's making acknowledgement of getting the letter.
okay,
So maybe she put it back together. She's saying she read it. Maybe
okay,
they wouldn't didn't want maybe she didn't want them to know that she had read it, but they were very much
okay.
in control of that
Well,
situation.
they can't find it, and they called him saying, you know, where's the letter? We don't even it's in Connecticut. Like,
Yeah.
how would we're in Louisiana, so
How would you know where the letter is, right?
like we don't.
Yeah.
So
She's saying that that she did read the letter
okay,
and she did read it.
I believe
Um
that.
yeah, yeah. But it was almost like there were things she wasn't allowed to do. Would you understand that?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Like she didn't have control of her finances. She didn't have control of decisions. Other people made those for her.
Yeah. That was part
Okay.
of yeah, I think she has a daughter that just, and so there was not much we could do.
Right. All you could do was, and your husband did what he needed to do. He sent her a letter. Right. He sent her a letter
Right.
wanting to heal the situation in the way that I get it. Okay, so subject change. She's giving me grapes. Why is she giving me grapes? You love them, you hate them, you just ate them. Um,
We love him, and she used to always, when I was, I'm sorry,
it's okay.
when we first, I've been with my husband since I was 21. I'm 60 now, and when we were younger, she would say, you can fix this for George, you can do this, you can do that. And I would say, he can get that himself. I don't, but now we're partners. And so when I stay home. And so he leaves for work early, and so I'll put grapes in his lunch just so he'll have
Okay.
a snack during the day. And so
Okay, well, so she's making acknowledgement of that. So here's the thing, is to know that she's very, right now, she's wanting you to know she's part of your life. Okay. And she wants him to know that she loves him. Now she's giving me 3 with children. So
I have 3 children,
okay.
and
All
none of
right.
them are speaking to me, and so I'm sure that bothers her because I'm sure it hurt her that she and her son weren't speaking. I have three
Yeah,
children,
well,
and
because yeah, so you know how that works. You guys got a lot of manipulation going on in your lives, don't you?
oh God, because my mother
Okay.
is very, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And so the one thing I'm just going to say to you with that is to say on a regular basis, if I use God. I don't know what you believe, but
I
thank
use
you, God, for
God, yeah.
healing. Okay, thank you, God, for healing the relationship between me and my children. Not about like making them get their head out of their ass or making them do, but just saying thank you, God, for healing the relationship between me and my children, and just keep saying that and keep affirming. And it's again, thank you and being grateful in that, so that there can be healing with that. Okay. All right. And then I had Cindy. All right, Cindy, any of this make any sense to you? Not that part. Okay, so what part has made sense to you? Okay, you're muted.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Mhm.
Can you, okay. Where my older sister about 3 months ago had surgery on her hip, and she was just told she has to have surgery again. And then my other brother, my one brother, is having issues with blood sugar and blood pressure.
Okay.
And so
All right. Okay. And but I'm also getting with you, there's something about 3 with children. So are you one of 3? Do you
three
have 3
girls.
children?
We have 5 in the family, but there's
But there
three
are 3
girls.
girls. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Now your mother is also making acknowledgement of a child on the other side. So
Yes,
did somebody lose a child, or is there one of her
my
children on
mom,
the other?
my
Okay.
mom.
So she's making acknowledgement that child is there. There's also a male to her side there. So is your father passed, or
Yes.
okay,
Mhm.
that he is there as well. And he's putting me on a boat. Why is he putting me on a boat? Does somebody like boating? Do you?
I used to go with him a lot to, they were rebuilding a camp, and I would go with him all the time. And we
Okay.
would always take the ferry to get
Okay.
to.
All right. Thank you. Then that's what he is making acknowledgement to. He's putting me, I'm saying he, it could still be your mom with this, but I've got both of them. They're putting me in a library.
Ah,
Okay, so that meant something to you. So what does that mean to you?
I've been taking classes and crime scene classes, and for the last 3 years, and I go to the library all the time. And I
Okay.
just I'm graduating in May.
All right. Well, they're making acknowledgement of that. And I think that that's wonderful that they know what you have been doing and what you are doing. Um, is there a Carol, living or past, or Carolyn or Carl?
That used to live next door to me here. Hmm. A
Okay. All
Carolyn.
right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Somebody goes by a nickname, like my brother's name is Wesley, but we've never called him that. We always called him Buzzy. Who has like a nickname that has nothing to do with their name? And it could be Bubba. I mean, it could.
Oh, my little grandson, I call him Bubba all the time.
Okay, all right, thank you. And so it's again making acknowledgement of knowing that these things are going on in your life. Um, I'm trying to get. Is there a story about fire? Is there a story about a fire, or somebody being afraid of fire, or almost catching the kitchen on fire?
Yes. Well, my daughter-in-law, my son was cooking about a month ago, and the smoke alarm went off, and we thought the fire department was gonna come because there was smoke all over in the house.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you.
Is that-
Um,
yeah,
so
I don't remember.
your mom is talking about somebody has been, like, they've been on TV or they've been on the radio. I don't know. Somebody might have a YouTube channel or a podcast. Where does that go? Somebody in the news or
My niece, my sister's daughter is a communicator for their county, and Biden had come recently to the county because of the hurricane, and so she speaks a lot. You know, she's their public,
okay.
announcer. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, making acknowledgement of all these cool things.
Wow,
Okay. Thank
wow.
you. Thank you. I'm supposed to tell you, well, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you. Are you having issues with your lower back?
I'm not, but my good friend is, my best friend is.
Okay.
Now, my sister, though, the one who's getting the surgery, also has issues with
Oh,
her
because she hurt
back.
her hip. Yeah. Because somebody's like got an issue with their lower back, and I'm supposed to tell them to get it checked or to go to the doctor or a chiropractor or something. And I see, so, and Sherilyn and
Yeah.
Penny, you're raising your hands as well. So, so share on, either one of you.
Yeah. And Sharon, everything you've just said, everything matched me as well. Like the diabetes, I forgot the aunt that passed died of diabetic issues. The number 3 is my mom and dad had 3 sons. All of them have passed. So they're all with my dad. My husband was a news videographer for Fox News. My sister and myself are having back issues. My mom almost burned down the house and we had to stop her from cooking. So everything you just said. So I think they're coming through, like you said, for multiple of us.
For all of you. Yeah. Sherilyn?
Yeah, same here. I inherited my great grandmother's house, and my dad died like 2 years ago, and the house burned down, the kitchen burned down, and lightning just struck my phone, and there was a fire, and so the fire department had to come in. So the fire came through and caught the phone on fire. And then my lower back, my husband and I both had been having lower back problems. I haven't had mine checked, but my lower back has really been, and my husband's like, he's just kind of been on me about it. But he had lower back surgery last year, and it just hasn't been as it's just taking him a lot longer to get back to the way he wanted to be. From and he's really, really healthy. And then as far as the 3, my mom and dad had 3 kids. My brother died. He's on the other side. My dad just died, like I said, a couple of years ago, and my husband's dad died. So there's that male on the other side. And like, I was really, really close with my dad. I had a really difficult time losing him.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Because you're his favorite, right?
that's what everybody says. But I mean,
Well, he can say it now. It's okay.
well, yeah.
You're his girl. Yeah.
Well, I live right next door to him, and I just,
Yeah.
I was the only girl.
Yeah. Yeah, but you were his girl. I meant to, yeah. And he loves you a lot now. I get this a lot of times, but he's saying if he were alive, he'd be making fun of you for doing this.
Well, he, they just think, that I know everybody's gonna laugh, and he probably did. He left me more than he left everybody else.
Yeah,
But
but he's saying if he were alive, he would be making fun of you for being here today. He would think that this was stupid if he were alive.
he knew how I was, though. I told him
Yeah,
everything.
but anyway, he's just saying he would be making fun of you if he were alive, but he's glad that you're here so he can tell you that he loves you.
He doesn't like
And
me
I'm
to
supposed to say
cry.
he can breathe. Okay, he can breathe. Okay.
Oh yeah, because
right.
he was on a
Yeah.
ventilator.
Yeah,
He was on a
he
ventilator.
can breathe and his mind is clear. His mind is clear. Okay, so subject change. So I think that with the 3 of you, I think I might be done with the 3 of you. What I have is I've got a guy fishing, and he's got his favorite rod with him. Who is like, to me, he's got his favorite fishing rod with him. He's got that fishing hat. He loved to fish, and he's also giving me the name Bill. That doesn't have to be his name, it could be somebody else associated with that. But who's got the fisherman past? I mean, he loved his fishing. Oh, I've got a couple of hands going up. Okay. All right. So let me just keep going with that. I'm sorry, I was like not I was blind because I'm doing my thing. So one of the things that he's giving to me is the fisherman is telling me he's got, since he died, he's got a shitload of grandchildren. That's his word. So which one of you has that? Like, there's a shitload. So I don't know if that means 3 or it's more than he had. Where's that go? All right. So I've got, let me take this thing. All right. So I've got Maggie, Sherry, Kim, and I think this is Amy. Amy, I'm trying to, is that you with Onaka or whatever? Okay. And Sherilyn is there as well. Okay. So, but since his passing, there has been, his word, shitload. All right, shitload of grandchildren. All right, so I'm going to just ask each of you to start. So Amy, tell me where that fits in for you.
Read your lips.
My mouse wouldn't work. My grandfather, since he's passed away, and he liked to fish and talked about fishing and prior things with us. And he has a shitload of grandchildren, great grandchildren, and great grandchildren.
They keep coming.
Just in like a span of 10 years.
Okay. And is this your mom's father?
Yes.
Okay. Why is he giving me your mom? What's significant about your mom? Is there anything going on with her?
It's her anniversary.
It's coming up soon.
Her anniversary is coming up soon. I don't know.
Okay, so has somebody upset your mother?
Yeah, a lot of people.
Well,
Because he's talking about her.
It could be
my
this
brother,
is my cousin. It could be her
my brother died,
her mom too.
and my mom,
And her mom's upset.
Okay, so you've got 2 moms that are upset.
And they're sisters. So Papa
Okay.
still
Okay.
just her mom.
And then your brother has passed as well, you're saying?
just passed. Oh,
Okay. Did he fish?
He fixed
This, because this is a big fisherman, so I'm just asking. I'm going to go back to, because Amy, if I'm hearing right, and I'm going from memory, your mother's Janet, right?
right.
Okay. This is specific, and I'm going to say this is specific to her. And I'm supposed to tell her from her father and her mother to get out of everybody's drama. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
does that make,
yeah,
she's
and
saying like just get out of their drama. Like, to me, it's almost not like she's instigating the drama. It's more like the drama's coming to her.
exactly.
And they're just saying,
Right. She's
don't
trying.
go there.
She's
Yeah.
trying.
And then so and so they're supportive of that, but they're just saying for her to step back and to take care of her and to
And my dad's the big fisherman too. My dad actually just fixed his boat so him and his brother could go fishing, and they haven't in a long time.
okay. All right. Well, and take ownership of that. But they do want to, there is this thing about telling your mom to not take everybody else's drama for herself.
Right.
Or trying to fix it. Does that make sense? Okay. Who is Matt or Matthew or Maddie?
My cousin.
Okay. All right. now you've got a lot of people on the other side, right? And okay, so I wanted to Doug. I mean, why are they throwing darts at me?
We all shoot darts. We shoot on dart leagues. Like I have
Okay.
a dart on my arm.
Okay, well, it's a good thing I can't see it right now. But all of a sudden, I was like seeing them come at me instead of going out.
My grandfather
All right.
works with my mom. He
Okay.
on the same team with her.
Okay, and so was your and what's the person beside you's name? What's your aunt's name?
My cousin Angie.
My mom's name.
Angie. Sorry, cousin. Okay. And so hold on, I lost it when I was asking what your name was. And cousin Angie, your brother just passed. A couple of things with that. They're talking about, and I don't know if this is with him or another male on the other side, but they're talking about like head pain or head trauma.
Yeah, he was smacked in the top of the head by a tree when he was cutting a tree down. It hit him at
Okay.
65 miles per hour.
Okay. Because he's giving me like the head, but I'm supposed to say that he is okay. And was there an argument over where to have his funeral or what kind of funeral to give him?
Yes, they didn't know. He is born, raised here in Florida, but he died in West Virginia. And so there's a big fight over where they're going to do something for him at between the two
Okay,
states.
well, I'm going to tell you. Okay, so yes, I'm a minister. However, I'm a medium first. I apologize if you don't like foul language, do this. He doesn't fucking care.
That's my brother 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, like wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, he doesn't care. All right. So it's like, but whatever you do, have a drink for him.
Yep.
So that's what he's giving to me. So let them do what they want to do there. You do what you want to do here.
Mhm.
Have a party, whatever it is. But he's just saying have a drink.
Right.
Okay. But he doesn't care, but he is okay. And it's and he's given to me like too, nobody was at fault.
Yeah, it's questionable why he went, how it happened. There's some dubious circumstances, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and so I'm just gonna say that's kind of like getting into the drama again. He's like saying it happened, but he's not like pointing fingers or blaming anybody, and so it's kind of like we don't need to call out the detectives and the family. He calls it the family detectives or investigators. So it's kind of like there are people in your family that want to get down to the bottom of the story.
Of course, yes, and he's 100% right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's and to me this wasn't like a purposeful thing, and that it's okay, but we don't need to. He's saying we don't need to investigate. Now he's kind of funny because it's like it's not going to resolve anything. It's not, he's already gone. It's not going to bring him back. And that's how he's saying it.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know, did the guy like beer? Because he's holding this beer in his hand as he's talking to me.
That's right. He was a drinker.
Okay. All right. Well, so I'm just going to say he's drinking in heaven and he's fine. He's also smoking. So I don't know if he smoked or not, but he's got the cigarette now and he's smoking there. And again, to me, this kind of goes with personalities. Okay. All right. So thank you. I think that I'm done with you. Anybody else's hand up? All right. So Sherilyn. Okay, go ahead, Sherilyn.
I hate to just keep doing this to everybody, but literally, you said my stepdad. I was really close to him as well. Even he and my dad were even good friends. He died of cancer. My dad helped take care of him. Anyway, you said the grandkids. So one of the grandkids is now having a baby, so that's a grandkid. But one of my nephew is Matt. My niece is Madison. We call her Maddie. You said Matt and Maddie. So when you said that, my stepdad lived and breathed fishing. When you ask him what time he was coming in, he'd say dark 30. So
Okay.
that's just,
Well, and it's like, again, these aren't
yeah.
accidents. So take
I mean, so you're
ownership.
just, yeah. So like, just
Yeah.
you're hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah. And I'm glad for you that we're able to do some
Yeah,
healing
just yeah. So I
with
don't want to
that.
just, but yeah, that's
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So the whole role here is going to change for just a minute. So sometimes instead of people, I get pets. So I have got, it looks like 2 German shepherds that were, what I'm getting, were well trained. And all I can compare it to, I know it's going to sound really weird, is that for a while I was watching this show about the guy going and inspecting hotels. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, he'd go to inspect hotels, but when they had bed bugs, he'd have a dog come in to sniff for bed bugs. And so they look like German shepherds to me. But they're well trained, but they're trained to sniff things. I don't know if it's drugs. I don't know what that is. I know that sounds silly. Does someone have dogs on the other side that like it's almost like if I'm seeing them sniff through rubble or ashes? Nobody? Sherry? You're muted.
It may be a long shot.
Again, I did. I'm sorry. I swear. Heidi, I had first, my dog was Heidi, and we literally worked with the police canine unit, and because they were breeding, because she was so high strung, and you couldn't, like, she would sniff our closets and anybody else's to see if, and then after she died, we got another dog that was from East Germany, and the only reason we were able to afford him was because the handler couldn't handle him, and my husband is just an animal lover, and we got this dog Bullet, and he could track anything. You could track him to he came from that lineage, and his siblings tracked bombs, guns,
Okay.
anyway, that was Bullet. So we had Bullet, and he was a beast, but he was, everybody just loved him, and he's just like, so if I don't know, he knows who are animal, like, so if any of y'all are animal lovers, he would just know it, and he just
Okay. Well, they're just really hitting home because they found the connection, right? They found the connection. Sherry, do you want to tell me where your connection is with that?
Just that my friend Susan had canines, and both the ones that she rescued searched for people. So they would go
Okay.
out and look for missing persons.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you. Well, anyway, dogs are okay. They're over there. Okay. That's just weird. To me, that's just weird. Okay. The next thing that I have is I have a male having passed. What I've got is, to me, it's like in some kind of accident. I don't know if it's a car, I don't know if it's a boat, it's an accident, and that I don't even know how to explain it. It's it's almost like I want to say it was really like whatever this was really bad. Like I feel like there were um like it was really mangled or bad. Who's got that? Who's got that? Okay, so I've got Dana and Beth. So Dana, you go ahead.
I've got a former student who was hit by a train.
Okay. Is his name like Jeremy or Josh or Jason or
Josh.
something? Okay.
Josh.
Okay. All right. And he's saying you were recently talking about him.
Yes.
Okay. He's glad to be so important and that you remember him also.
Absolutely.
Is your mother passed?
Yes.
Okay. So she's very excited because there's been a lot of changes since she's passed.
Mhm.
Um, and we're having a lot of babies now. I don't know if that means
Yeah.
we've had one, we've had two, but we're having babies.
Two.
Okay. And she's giving me her name. So is her name, does somebody share her name? Or was her name after somebody?
We share middle names.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you what I'm seeing is like, so they're like in Catholic homes, but they're like little Marys that are praying,
Mhm.
like Mary figurines.
Yeah.
Okay. So why are they moving that around the house? Does somebody have one in every room?
Uh, Nick's family has them everywhere, and we work at Catholic, so.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Because I'm just saying like the Mary figurine
Mhm.
with the hands. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you. Um, You've decided to not move. I don't know what that means. Were you talking about moving? Were you looking at moving and you've decided not to move?
We bought property and we're not moving yet,
Okay.
and
All
not
right.
moving jobs.
Okay. All right. And they're talking about retirement. Who retired?
Nick's dad.
Okay. Okay. So does Nick have two siblings that are passed?
Just one.
Okay. The one saying it's a twin.
Yes.
Okay. But it was like at birth, right? Or young.
Right. Right.
Okay. They're saying, okay, so they're saying another brother. So maybe I'm getting it wrong. Do you have a brother passed, or is there a
I do.
brother-in-law that's okay? All right, then that we were just getting confused. All right. Um, and did he pass with an illness?
Yes. He was born with an illness.
Okay. Okay, your brother?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yep.
All right. So I'm getting that your mom is really happy. And like to me, we're right in the middle of like a birthday, an anniversary, a passing date.
Mhm.
We're right there. But it's
All of
not
that.
just one, it's gonna keep going.
Right. Right.
Okay. All right. Uh there's a joke about okay, so we used to have a smart car.
Yes.
Okay. So it's kind of like there's a joke about somebody having had a car that could have been somebody else's backpack. Um,
Um,
did you have a
yes.
small car?
Yeah. Yeah. We had the small little Yaris. Yeah.
Okay. But it looked like how did you fit in it? Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Did people
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know why I'm getting that, but they're making a joke about like putting it on the back,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um your mother wants you to know that she really, really loves you. Um so I know that you're a teacher. I mean, I know that
Yep.
in the time that I've known you that you're a teacher. Um but why are they talking about you've upped your game?
Um, I've kind of created a position for myself. I'm in charge of the STEM at the school.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you're doing a good job. And I'm
Thank you.
supposed to tell you to not give up, to keep moving towards the way that I'm hearing it. Okay, you interpret it however you want, but what I'm hearing is the freedom of education.
Yep.
Okay.
Got
So
it.
that's what I'm hearing. Okay. All right. The next thing is they're giving me lots of puzzles. I love puzzles. Who likes puzzles?
I like Sudoku, and I was trying a new puzzle today,
Okay, all right,
and
thank you. Well,
jigsaw puzzles, and
that would be it. Okay, and I'm just gonna put you on hold a minute. So Beth, did
okay.
you have your hand up?
I did. Mine was my brother-in-law whose plane went down during a war.
Okay, okay. All right, thank you. I got a couple of you, so just please just stay with me here. All right, so Beth, I've got that, but also they're also giving me, and I don't know if this is a female living or a female past that had breast cancer. Living or past, was there a female that had breast cancer, or somebody maybe just had uh what is it?
Fibroid.
Mammogram?
Oh, my sister had fibroids real bad, but no breast cancer that I'm aware of.
Sherilyn's okay.
That's
All
me.
right, go
That's
ahead,
me.
Sherilyn.
Because my aunt is the one, she just celebrated her 91st birthday like a week or so ago. We had not a big party, but a few of us, and we play dominoes every week. I'm really close to her, and she had something going on with her breast because she has a pacemaker, and but it's this just a condition with her breast. It's not cancer, but it is serious and it's painful. And
Okay.
she's a puzzle fanatic. A puzzle will keep her up all night.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And Melanie, I
And
know you're
she's
there, but I'm gonna come back to Beth for just and Dana, it makes sense to you too?
Yes.
Okay.
and
Okay.
that's who I think
Um,
she's like. She's got I don't know. There's something about her that I was thinking like her and my Aunt Noonie would just get along. I don't know.
okay. All right. All right, Beth, who is the female above you past? Yeah.
The only female that has passed in my family would be my grandmother. Both my grandmothers. I don't have any. I do have aunts that have passed, but
That
no,
would be okay. That would be above. They're giving me a female above past. You didn't lose a daughter, right?
she hasn't spoken to me in 3 years. But no, I haven't lost her.
Okay, well, she's not on the other side, but I was just double making sure that I was okay, and who is the male to your side past? So this would be like husband or brother, brother-in-law, friend.
Just the brother-in-law.
Okay. All right. Oh, the one that died in the plane crash.
Mhm.
Okay. Are you connected with his family still? Are you
Well, my sister. It's my sister's first husband. So
okay? Can I'm gonna try not to cry.
me too.
Okay. He wants her to know that that she loves him and he's sorry that he didn't come back. But I'm also getting that when he came back, she didn't get closure. Does that make
Well, he was missing. The plane went,
yeah, okay, yeah.
and it was missing until they found the plane underwater. And she did say that shortly after that, she dreamed about him and she thought he was really there.
Yeah, but what he's saying too is that she did, and that makes sense because one of the things I got with crashing and stuff too is I also had a drowning thing that I didn't bring up because I was really overwhelmed with everything that I was getting. Um, but she didn't get like his body didn't get home or in the way that she could identify or see him.
Right. They just had
Right?
parts of
Yeah.
the crew. Yeah.
Right, right. And he just wants her to know that so I think that one of the things is that he didn't leave her, he didn't abandon her. Um his intention was always to come back home. And that he loves her and all he wants is for her to be happy. So um and he's talking about her moving on. So I feel like there's been things where she's moved on in her life and he's glad about that. Now the one thing he's giving to me is an album collection. So when I get that, does somebody collect albums or does somebody really love music? And this could again be about him, it could be about her. It
He did love music. He was a guitarist and he did love.
okay. Okay. All right. And he did that visit that he had with her really did happen.
Mm.
Okay, so he's making acknowledgement to that really really happened.
Mhm.
Okay. But he wants her to know that he loves her and that he's sorry he didn't make it back. Okay, so I've got a couple of other people that got hands raised. So Melanie, you've been waiting patiently. Go ahead and tell me where some of this makes sense to you, please.
My son had my son was hit on his motorcycle and was killed. 10
Okay.
months.
Okay. And was his death pretty quick?
They said it was instant.
Yeah, because that's what he gives it to me. He was here and then he wasn't. That's how he gives it to me. There, he was not in any fear. He was not in any um pain. He was here and he wasn't. He's talking about being in the middle. I don't know. Do you have 3 children or do you have children that are in the middle?
I have 6. I have 3 boys and 3 girls. And he is the middle of the 3 boys.
Okay. All right. And do you also have a daughter passed?
No, all my children are alive.
Okay. Okay. He's
have-
giving me another female that's passed. So where would did you have a miscarriage or lose a child?
Yes, I had an ectopic pregnancy that ruptured between Cameron and Cody.
Okay. Okay. And it's just making acknowledgement of that. Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you're alive and that they could take care of you. So he is okay. So I'm going to tell you, he is a very passionate person. Like when he gets fixed on something, he wants to do it and he wants to see it to completion. Does that make sense to you? Like he can be single-minded
Yes, he's
or
very intelligent.
yes. Yes, and he could but he had a passion. Um and he's also giving me music. So what is the music in regards to him or to you or your family with that?
Only that he had a lot of Apple Music, and I was going to try to get it off his phone, and I lost all of it before I could get it off of his phone.
Okay. Okay. Well, he said, well, I'm just going to tell you, he likes music, so whatever you get, it's okay. But this is so I'm dating myself. Okay, now I'm only 30, guys, right? Why is he singing? Bye bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And I can't sing, so that's as far as I'm going. Why am I hearing that song?
I have no idea. That would
All
not
right.
be music.
Okay, who's got that? Dana, that makes sense to you? Okay. Kim,
Yep.
does that make sense to you? No, okay, just went to Dana. Okay. All right. Well, there was my debut recorded.
Sounded awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So, where I was talking to Sherilyn earlier about like his mother getting the letters, you have somebody wrote something to your son after he passed or about your son after he passed, and he wants you to know he's got the letters, he's got that information. Okay? Do you understand? And you also have him printed somewhere. So I don't know if it's on the back of a windshield. I don't know if somebody's got a tattoo, if you got a plaque, but he's like his name is in lights. That's what
My
what is that?
my 5 children and me and my husband, Cameron had a particular tattoo that he designed, and everybody in the family went and had it done on him.
Okay, because he's making acknowledgement of you having that. He is okay. You are a good mom. He's telling me to tell you to not let your grief keep you from loving and being involved with all of your children. Do you understand that?
Yes, I'm just having a really hard time.
I know. And I'm not telling you to not have your grief, but he's concerned that you might overprotect yourself and be afraid that you might lose somebody else. And he wants you to give them all of the love that they need to give. Not love is to be shared, not withheld. And he's saying one of the best ways to honor him is for your family all to share in their pain, to talk about what they need to talk about, but to be open to having those feelings. But he's telling me to tell you love is to be shared. Am I making sense?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, it'll make sense later, I promise. Because maybe if it's not making sense to you, it might make sense to one of your other kids that might be grieving and feeling like they can't grieve because it would be upsetting to you. I don't know. But he's just talking about sharing the love and being open and not holding back. Okay.
Yeah, one of his sisters
All right.
really
Go
hard
ahead.
time. One of one of
Yeah.
his sisters
Yeah.
is having a really hard time that she's
Yeah.
self-harming.
She's self-harming.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So would you tell her that he says the best way to love him and honor him is for her to live and for her to embrace life? And again, that message about love should be shared and not withheld may be going to her. Okay. That he is not physically here, which is true. So he's not active in your life, but he still exists and he's still with you and he still loves everyone. And that's really, really important that be known. If I'm also being told to make sure she gets the help that she needs. That's what he's saying. Get her, if she's resisting help, get her help. If what's working isn't working, get her more help.
I've been trying to get her to go and she won't go.
Okay. Well, will she listen to her brother?
The brother that's gone.
Yeah. He's telling her to get help. Okay. And that this is not the end of her life. There can be good in her life and happiness that she could not possibly imagine if she's willing to move forward and to heal through this. It will happen. It won't be overnight, but it's
She has
and he was her
completely.
secret keeper. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And that's she can, so she can still tell him the secrets. He's telling me he will still keep her secrets.
Her whole plan for life has derailed. She was going to go to college to be a vet, and now she doesn't want to do anything.
Okay. And again, grief will, to me, death is like rehabilitation. It's kind of like if somebody loses a leg or an arm, somebody might with a leg get that artificial leg, a prosthetic, and they can be running a marathon in 14 months. Somebody else might not even be able to walk for 3 years. Everybody heals differently, but he is telling her that it is okay to be happy. It is okay to move forward. It is okay to look for joy in her life. And that again, that's honoring him. That's honoring him.
Okay.
Okay. Kim, you had your hand up.
It was a lot of things that were resounding with me, but when you said the thing about cancer, I just went through a mammogram and a lobectomy.
Okay.
So I didn't know if that, and then of course we got off on something else. So
Okay, well, just take ownership of that.
Yeah.
And Melanie, your son wants you to know that you're a good mom. You're a good mom. Okay.
Thank you.
But he's telling you, he's really encouraging everybody to live. And it's not easy. I mean, grief is well, I just don't think anybody should die. Right? That we all hold hands and go all at the same time. But it's but he is there, but he wants her to thrive. Adela, are you still there? Okay. Is your son still around?
He is.
Okay. Well, no, well, yeah, and you don't have to have him come in there, but I have a message for him. Okay. And I don't feel like it's from anybody that's passed. I'm gonna say I feel like it's spirit driven, God driven. Okay. And what's your name? Because I don't remember.
It's Kimani Curry.
Can you say it? I can't hear it.
It's Kimani Curry.
Kimani? Kimani. Okay. All right. I am supposed to tell you that there is no limit to who you can become or what you can do, and that you have a wonderful imagination, and to allow that imagination to help you see beyond what people consider physical limits. Okay. You are here to change the world. Now, that might be that you make really great chicken soup and you give it to the homeless. It doesn't matter what that is, and it doesn't mean that you have to have a title or that you have to be this great big executive, but you are here to change the world. You are here to support humanity. You are here to encourage those that feel like they have no options. So don't ever think that you are unworthy or undeserving. So trust your intuition and move with that. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Do you have any questions about that? I know I embarrassed you probably. Do you have any questions about that? Okay. Well, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know what story your mom told you, but you fought hard to be here because you have a reason to be here. Okay? So let the love within you prevail and move you forward. Okay? All right. Well, that made me cry. All right. Well, we did really good today. So we will put this recording out here. And I don't want to like commit Rick to anything, but he has to do it. But it'll take a couple of hours because of the length of it to get to where it's going. And then I'll just go on to my website and you go to the events page, and that's where you will find it. Any questions or comments? Anybody need to say anything that they feel they
Just
need?
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, so let's break this off.
Thank
Divine
you.
Beloved, we are grateful for this session. We are grateful for the opportunity for healing. We are grateful for the opportunity for encouragement and to move forward. We affirm the highest and the best, and we are grateful. Namaste. And so it is. And the divinity within me salutes the divinity within you. Thank you for sharing with me, and God bless you. And yes, I do that Catholic thing wrong because I'm not Catholic. I'm just closing my door. I
Love
do
you,
it
Sharon.
backwards,
Thank
evidently.
you.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
if you want a private reading, to go to my website and to schedule that. And if any of you ever want to have a family group, we can do it on Zoom as well. If you want to have a little family group or get together, so we can do that on Zoom. And yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for sharing with me. And I think a lot of people got stuff today. So yay. All right. And love you. And thank you for being here.
Thank
So,
you.
thank you.
Have a good
Bye.
one.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
And Sharon, I got my buttercups.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.